All right. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Surviving Hollywood podcast. My name is Aaron Arnold.
My name is Austin Arnold.
And I'm Johnny Ray Diaz.
And we just had the pleasure of sitting down, standing up in my case, with young buck making his way through Hollywood. His name is Miguel Chavez. He is on this show called AP Bio with Pat Oswalt and Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's a comedy show. And we had the pleasure of talking with him today. He's a real cool guy. What do you guys think?
I personally loved how I thought this is very relatable. If you're coming up in Hollywood, this is his first big show. So we get down to the basics in terms of how'd you get your first agent? What was the audition process? If you want to book a part on AP Bio, like what was your experience? And what I liked best is this dude kind of threw the conversation back at us in terms of it was just like an actual conversation. He asked a little about us, a little about him. Johnny, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He was, what I liked about him, he was super down to earth. I felt like we were just talking to a friend, right? Which is what I think what you want out of the guest, but sometimes you don't really know because you haven't really had that interaction before. But super relatable, like you said. I like that he kind of talked a little bit about, what he felt like got him to that next level, which essentially is, being on a series. He talked about a couple of techniques that he learned from a specific acting coach, which he'll kind of reference when you listen to the podcast. But he has a really good state. I think that he is definitely going to go places. And man, it was just fun talking to him.
Yeah.
Yep. This is a guest we'll definitely have back again. Make sure you check out his show, AP Bio on Peacock. Aaron, final thoughts?
I liked he gave very thoughtful answers. He was a guy, really thinking about the questions, giving thoughtful answers. And I guess, we're all big fans of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He wasn't a fan of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I was like, dude, are you a fan? He's like, honestly, I'm not, but I can tell just by looking at you, you guys are fans.
Yeah.
Anyways, enjoy the pod.
If you're trying to survive in Hollywood during the holidays, then you better stay at home. Pull up your PC, iPad, Android, or Apple phone. Merry podcast. Merry podcast. Merry podcast. Survive in Hollywood. Merry podcast. Merry podcast. Merry podcast. Survive in Hollywood.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Miguel, what's up, man?
What's up, Miguel?
Not much, bro. I was actually just checking out your guys' content.
Oh, we apologize for that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't apologize, please. It was great. It was like just talking to bros, dude. It's nice.
Nice.
No, man. It's thank you for hanging with us.
Of course.
How's your Saturday morning going?
Not bad, dude. This is a great way to start my Saturday morning. And I imagine for you guys, this podcast has helped you keep busy during this crazy time. I imagine. I could be wrong, so.
It's definitely been good because we normally do this in person, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just it's better for the guest. You interact more, that kind of thing. We have may I have a beer or something.
Oh, hell yeah.
But during COVID, we've been Zooming with everybody, so it's become like the new normal, and it's still working, I guess. It's still working.
I feel like I've probably seen you guys in an acting class. I don't know. You guys got that vibe?
I know. I feel like, Miguel, you kind of look familiar as well, dude.
Yeah, dude. I feel like, have I seen these guys in an audition technique class or some workshop?
Hey, aren't you on AP Bio?
I think,
swear.
bro.
I
don't know, dude.
I did a scene with you in AP Bio.
Oh, shit. Oh,
No,
crap.
I'm just kidding.
I could swear on the podcast, right? I
Yeah.
Call me swearing, so yeah, okay, good.
Fuck yeah, you can.
Whoa, dude. Not the F-bomb, though.
My bad, dog. My bad.
What?
Go ahead.
What technique classes have you taken as of recent?
As of recent, I think the biggest one, I took Amy Linden's audition technique class.
I've heard of her class. Did you like it?
She's great. I loved it, bro. She's great. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where when you go in for an audition, you guys know what I'm talking about, but you're an actor and you're really green and you just don't know if you're approaching the material right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like after that class, like every text I get, I'm like, oh, I know what this is. So it gives me that peace of mind when I go in for an audition, at least.
Do you feel like taking her class kind of gave you more of an edge, or did it kind of help you see things that you just didn't see before?
Both. I think it gave me both. You know what I mean? CP didn't see before, absolutely. You know, like before that class, I fucking sucked at with multicam sitcoms. You know, like when I used to go out for like Nickelodeon multicams, those were my hardest auditions just because I have to like drink a Red Bull before I do those because they're just. Have you guys gone out for those by any chance?
Not too many. That's not really my casting type, but I have done some of those, and you definitely have to amp it up.
Yeah, you got to be quick, right?
Yeah, it's a timing thing, right? I feel like it's a timing, it's the energy,
100%.
it's
the
jokes sort of just like, you know.
Gentlemen, where are you guys from?
Ohio, originally.
Wow.
You ever been?
No, I have not, unfortunately.
But now we live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Sure. Figured as much.
Yeah. Wait, you guys are in LA? Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm from Phoenix originally, but obviously
how long you guys
in
been
LA
out
now.
for?
We've been out here like 6 years at least.
Dude, that's awesome. You have a podcast? That's fucking sick, bro. Good for you guys.
Hell yeah. Yeah, finally.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Welcome.
And you're from California, right? Born and raised?
Yes, sir. I'm from Rancho Cucamonga, Southern California. So I've been a SoCal native my whole life.
So how has it been? Go ahead.
You're a stunt man by trade. I saw you studied stunts.
I did. You know, it was one of those things where it was really early in my career, and I needed a stunt coordinator. We got along really well, and he was offering classes, and I was like, hell yeah, I want to see Jack again. And I was just taking classes while I was doing building my acting career. And it was great because, you know, you learn all the nuts and bolts. And Jack, specialized in fight choreography. So we're doing like roundhouse kicks. We're doing Wing Chun, karate. He's throwing a whole bag of different martial arts at us. And we learn how to fall through glass. We learn how to fall downstairs. We just learn a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Are you still doing a lot of the stunt stuff today? Or is that still something that you kind of work on, or?
Hell no, dude. Like, what happened was when I got AP Bio, I remember I got the part, and then I went to class later that day, and I couldn't concentrate. I had to leave early. I was like, whoa, I just had to process that, and then I just couldn't do it. I mean, I was working on set. You guys know how it is. You work like 10 to 12 hours on set. It's a long effing day. So when I'm not working, I'm tired as hell.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can still pick it up really quickly. However, I don't want to be like, you know, if someone else does a stunt, I'm cool with it because I don't want to hurt myself because I'm not have a job if I do.
Right. Of course. Yeah. It's not worth it. Well, what was it like, you know, growing up in California? Sort of, I know Rancho is not necessarily Hollywood, but I guess kind of being in the industry or around it, like, is it something, was it different for you? You know, did you always know you wanted to do this?
I mean, I was 13 when I knew I wanted to act, but I had no connections. You know, and I grew up in Rancho Cucamonga, so I don't know how you guys are familiar with California, but it's a much more conservative area of California. You know what I mean? And it's just a suburban neighborhood. So
Trump country.
In a way, yeah, bro. If you go to the Bass Pro Shops parking lot in Rancho Cucamonga, you're gonna see what my city's all about, dude. It's pretty funny. I mean, I don't care in either way. I mean, I respect people's point of views. I mean, I was at my friend's wedding a couple months ago, and I met this guy named Hunter. He hunts. He's like all the things that like my liberal friends don't like, but we got along well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you just gotta like.
Yeah, it's okay, man. I mean, you're allowed to have your own opinions. I mean, as long as we can get along.
Exactly. Johnny voted for Trump. I say no big deal.
Absolutely, man.
You know, I'm gonna have to get off.
Love that dude. Love that dude. Hey, hold on, guys. We're in the middle of a recount, so please, it's not over yet.
You know, it'd be funny if you had like some sort of Trump statue in the back or like a portrait, and you just had tried to hide it real quickly, and you did a shit job. Oh,
actually,
man.
Aaron, if you want to throw your hat on real quick, I think it's time.
Oh hell yeah, please. Let's see this.
There he is.
Oh my God.
We just got canceled.
For comedy purposes
Trump
only.
ruined red hats for like the next 10 years, man. Like
I'm trying to bring it back.
And making America great.
Again.
Enough, dude. Enough.
Yeah. It was great at one point.
Yeah.
Not anymore. No.
Anyways.
So talk. Go ahead, Aaron. You can jump in.
Are you a Glenn Howerton fan like us before you did the AP Bio?
Bro, I apologize, but I was not. I had nothing against Glenn Howerton. You guys give that vibe as well. I can just see it, you know. And people that like Glenn Howerton or the Straight Show, they just have that vibe. You know what I mean? Like you talk to someone, they tell you what they're into, and you're like, I could see you being into that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Y'all get the vibe. and,
Yeah.
which is fine. But dude, no, unfortunately, I was not. I mean, I watched a couple of the shows. All my friends were big fans. I was still nervous to be around him, though. You know what I mean? I was still nervous to be around him and Patton Oswalt, but they're both really nice people. So no, the answer was no, unfortunately.
Who did you connect with more? Because I love Patton Oswalt as well. He's hilarious.
I connected with Patton the most. He was really nice to me. They're all really nice to me, but like I was able to have a conversation with him. You know, so that was nice. And the first person I was actually able to have a conversation with where I didn't freak out, though I was freaking out inside, was Carrie Brownstein. You guys probably know her from Portlandia.
Yes.
She directed one of our episodes in season 2, and we just chit-chatted small talk about Thanksgiving, and I was so fucking happy. I was like, hell yeah, I just had a normal conversation with a celebrity.
I love it.
So for our audience that's not entirely familiar, tell us what AP Bio is about and who your character is.
So AP Bio is a show about a disgraced Harvard philosophy professor, Mr. Griffin. He gets fired from his job at Harvard, and he ends up having to teach biology in Toledo, Ohio, his hometown. And he lives in his dead mom's house. And instead of teaching biology, he gets us, the students, and his faculty in petty shenanigans. And I play Eduardo on the show. I play a huge nerd on AP Bio, and yeah, I'm one of the students.
Cool.
Nice.
When I was reading the bio, and I've seen some clips and it looks really good, but like the way the show's set up, it reminds me of like School of Rock. Is there any?
Yeah, it kind of has, I'll tell you, it has that vibe because, and I don't think it was intentional. I think what it is was I found out a couple months ago that Mike kind of got an indie crew for the show. Like his crew were people that had a lot of credentials, but with like indie movies that were good movies. You know what I'm saying? And the network was like, we have our own roster. Like, no, it's cool. So it has that like.
It does have that feel to it a little bit, yeah.
Feel to it, that cinematography tinge to it that looks a bit more distinct than a classic network show. So I think that's where it comes from.
And even the plot.
Pardon?
And even the plots, like Glenn Howerton's role
Totally.
working with the students.
Had to ask Mike,
Yeah.
So kind of walk us through, you mentioned it a little while ago, but kind of walk us through that audition process. Obviously, you were so excited that day when you got it that, things happened. But tell us about, sorry about that.
Oh, unprofessional, dude.
My phone is linked to the laptop. And
no worries.
But anyway, talk us about the audition and how that whole process went.
So you guys know how it is. Your reps message you, you get the audition. And my reps messaged me, hey, you have an audition for AP Bio with Wendy O'Brien casting. I was like, cool. And I look up the show. I try to look up the show before I audition for anything just to kind of see what the tone is. And I thought to myself, oh, I could see myself in this show. Like, I belong in this world, for better or for worse. And that's pretty much what it was. And, it was just another audition for me. You go out for these auditions, and that's what ends up happening. Doesn't mean I don't try to give my best, but you just gotta just roll with the punches. I go in for the audition. It was like the first time I forget my lines in an audition. I don't know why, but I just do. But the casting assistant liked what I was doing, and we just kept on doing it till I got it right. And she was laughing the whole time, which is good. And then I find out 2 days later that I'm strongly pinned for the role. And if your viewers don't know what that means, it means you're the number one pick that the show wants to give the job to. And then I find out like the next day that I got the part.
Wow, that was fast.
It was really fast.
There was no callback, just
no callback. I know.
Wow,
man.
that's
so
amazing.
Fortunate. Yeah, it was.
Wendy's really nice too. Wendy O'Brien. I don't know if you guys ever read
best.
before, but she's so nice.
Yeah, she's really nice. I mean, it's so nice to have a nice casting director who gets people good jobs. You know what I mean? Because she casts some pretty sweet stuff. It's not like, low budget crap.
Yeah.
I know I sound pretentious, but it's just it's nice to.
No, she has huge shows like Mayans and
huge shows. It's why we came out here to LA, gentlemen.
Yeah.
We didn't come out here in LA to do something that doesn't give us passion. We came out here to do something that excites us, and Wendy provides that.
Yeah.
And what do you think it was when you were like actually in the interview? Is it anything special at all, or is it just like any other interview and you're just used to giving your best?
I think what it was I was being genuine in my comedy. So Mel Brooks said it, if you're trying to be funny, be genuine. So I wasn't like trying to give a song and dance in my interpretation of it. I was just experiencing what the character was, and it was very mellow, and I think that's what did it. It was very just underhanded. It wasn't so in your face the way I approached it. Because I did a scene where I'm talking to all these girls trying to get them to be my girlfriend, and I failed miserably. That was my audition piece. And it was just very just it was, the undercurrent was very funny, but it wasn't just like an uproar of funny. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. So I think that's what it was.
You played it real.
Exactly. Thank you. I played it real. Yeah.
For sure. And even going back a little farther, how did you get your first agent? Have you been with the same one the whole time in LA?
I've been with the same one the whole time. What happened for me was I was in a theater company for a year. It was called Theater 68. Have you guys heard of it by any chance?
I haven't.
No worries. Well, it's a NoHo, so you guys know NoHo. There's a bunch of theater. You know what I mean?
Johnny lives there.
That's where I live. But I just moved here. So.
Like on Magnolia, there's a bunch of theater companies. You know what I'm saying? There's Republic of Pie, so all that actory stuff. And I've been around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of all the places. Yeah.
It's like Santa Monica Boulevard. You know, like the Fox Theater. What's it called again on Santa Monica? Those theaters, the Fox or something.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know exactly the.
Yeah, it's.
I know that little strip of like theater.
Promenade.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like you're earning your actor stripes when you go to places like that. You know what I mean? But that's that. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. So what was your question again? I'm so sorry.
I always just love to know how people got their first agent, because so many people want that when they first come.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple things. And do you guys mind if I give a bit of a dense answer?
Go ahead.
We prefer it.
Because it's a bit psychological and it's a bit of just going for it. They both go hand in hand. So what happened was I was in a theater company and I know that I was stuck and I knew I had to leave that place to get going in my career. I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I love these guys, but the leadership there is poor, and the person that runs the theater company, unfortunately, sees this as a place where rejects get to do acting. And and he said it himself, you know, I was like, let's face it, guys, like, who's going to pick us? And I was like, I already wanted to leave, but when he said it, I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Fuck that shit.
For sure.
So, I was like, I'm going to leave. It was really heartbreaking leaving, but I left. And the moment I left, things started picking up, dudes. You know, I auditioned for some short films that were really cool. I can't remember her name, but she's one of the stars of Blackish. She plays the young daughter. I think her name's Yuri something. I can't remember her name, but I auditioned for her, which was cool. So it was like, in a way, the universe. I mean, I know it's very LA to say that, but that's kind of how I am. Kind of rewarded me for that risk. You know, so I leave that theater company, and it was like, what I got to do to be a working actor? I was like, why the fuck am I not on Stranger Things? I felt like that was my casting. I was asking myself those questions and getting angry. And I was like, man, what do we got to do? What do we got to do? And I come across a podcast called Audrey Helps Actors. And it was everything.
I'm familiar with that one. Yeah.
It's a great podcast, gentlemen. Yeah. And I listened to that religiously because it talked about what I haven't learned in a way, and that's the business side, you know, how you go about getting agents and all that. And then from there, I came across Amy Linden, because she had an episode with Amy Linden on the Audrey podcast called Booking Like a Champion. I was like, shit, I want to hear that because I want to fucking book. So I listened to it, and Amy said one thing that really struck with me. She's like, I don't want my students to come back. And I was like, boom, that's why I'm going to go to this class. Because if she doesn't want her students to come back, that's huge, you know? So I take her class. I'm there for a few months. I do a business program with her, a one-on-one business program where she looks over my entire package, headshots, resume, reel, and tells me how to fix it. I do that, and then she sent my info to 90 plus agents and managers. So that's how that happened. And eventually,
does that cost extra, or is
that cost? No, that's a part of it. That's cool. A part of it. Yeah, but I did pay for that, and so I did that. And sorry, it's a long story. And eventually, Kim Matuka, my manager, was like, "I want to sign you." She was the most hungry to sign me, and I was like, "I'm going to go with her." And I felt the best vibes with her anyway. So I signed with Kim, and then Kim was sending me out for auditions, and my manager was sending me out for meetings with agents, and that's how I got my reps, my agents, Rebecca Eck at Eris Talent Agency. There you go. But like one of those things is we have to ask ourselves, how are we self-sabotaging ourselves? You know what I mean? Because I hear stories about, oh, this actor, they had to wait 10 years to get that part. And I'm like, cool. But what the media doesn't tell you is that, oh, well, this actor was struggling with self-esteem for 10 years and they finally got it over. And once they got it over with, they were able to progress. You know, so that's where I'm constantly auditing myself, where it's like, okay, where do I have some subconscious beliefs that are holding me back? So I don't have to deal with that bullshit. Because that's what happened with one of the stars of This Is Us. You know, she had to wait 10 years or 12 years to get her part, but she said it was because I had low self-esteem. You know, and it's like, what if she didn't have that? What if you dealt with your demons earlier? You know what I mean? So
Now, do you feel like that's something that you sort of maybe tackled taking Amy's class, or was that something you just sort of discovered on the podcast and you're like, all right, this is what I need to work on?
It was something that I discovered beforehand, because I've always been into self-help. You know, that's something that I've always been into. And actually, that's a lie. I started getting into it in my early 20s. And I feel like that's helped me a lot in ways that maybe I don't see yet because of hindsight. I'm still young. You know what I mean? But I feel like that's really helped me, you know, because we do better when we know better. And we hold ourselves back in so many ways we don't realize. Does that answer your question?
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great.
I love that.
Thank you.
Do you, we also, in the bio said you mentioned that you're big in yoga. Is that one of the things that you feel
Did I
like
mention that in my bio? That's
that was in there.
Oh my God, it's funny. Who sent you that bio? Was it on my IMDb or did my publicist?
I think it was Anderson.
Oh, yeah, Anderson.
Oh, that's
sent that.
hilarious. Yeah, no, I was doing yoga for a bit for my stress. I mean, I am really into fitness. I have to give myself that. Before the quarantine, I was rock climbing a lot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You guys would like it, you know, for sure.
I do yoga.
Really?
I love it.
It's awesome. Yeah,
Not anymore. Everything's closed down, but
same. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah. So I was rock climbing, then I was doing yoga, and right now I'm weightlifting. You know. So
what about bouldering? You ever do that?
Yeah, that's rock climbing without the harness.
Dude, that seems hard.
Are you gonna do have you seen Free Solo? Man.
Oh, fuck that. Dude, I saw that. Oh my God. It is insane.
That movie was making me sweat just watching the guy climb.
Dude,
dude,
that guy is crazy. Like, thank God, like, none of us, I assume, aren't dating anyone like that. It is just gnarly. Oh, I have a question for you guys, if you don't mind. How did you guys get into acting?
Ooh, it's a long-winded one. You guys can answer that.
Well,
if you don't mind.
You know, it started, long story short, we took our first, we did the theater program in high school starting sophomore year, basically caught the bug, did all the plays, all the musicals up until then. And we're like, well, we're going to major in this in college. So we went to college for theater in Ohio.
Both of you. That's awesome. Yeah.
Both of us.
Wait, are you guys twins?
Yeah, we are.
Bro.
How did you know that we're twins?
Dude,
Oh.
The beard, bro. That really helps with the... Not me not saying that. Sorry, please continue. I didn't mean to
Corona beard
right now.
No, dude, we were waiting for you to figure it out.
You're the first guest that realized it. I'm just kidding.
Oh, jeez.
But we just loved it. Obviously, we were like, this is the career. We're gonna move out to Los Angeles.
That's awesome. What about you, bro? How'd you get into?
I started really late. Actually, I didn't really get into acting till like almost my mid-20s. So I started kind of late.
What were you doing beforehand?
Oh my God, what wasn't I doing?
Johnny's got some stories. He's done everything.
I've done it all, man. I've worked in finance. I was a realtor.
Dude, this guy's been held at gunpoint 2 different times in his life.
Are you serious?
I've done all. I've done every job, man. I worked in radio.
I gotta grab a drink or something. I want to hear these stories.
I'm game.
It's good stuff, man. It's great.
By the way, I was looking at our mutual friends. Miguel. And
yeah, what's up, man?
This is these are our mutual friends. Oh, I lost it. Shit. It was Frankie Anthony and Zach Feynman.
And Frankie's cool.
And Payman Benz. But maybe
Payman's awesome.
Maybe
He
Zach
probably
Feynman?
directed.
He directed me a couple times. Yeah.
Oh, dude, awesome, dude. Payman, we had Payman on. He's great.
Oh, he's so good. He's something else. And Zach was literally texting me a minute before you guys. I talked to you guys. He's probably texting me right now. I'm not answering it, you know. But
well, I used to hang out with Zach because I was better friends with the guy he used to live with. So maybe I saw you at
maybe
that house.
Or maybe it's some function. You guys know a guy named Ricky Rose by any chance?
No.
Well, he has these film functions, and a lot of Zach's friends. I don't know. I was just trying to see how I know you guys, but
yeah.
But I was friends with Arnold and Taylor Clift, who he used to live with. He probably doesn't anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he does. Yeah.
All right,
we'll cross paths at some point.
It's all good.
I am curious though, because obviously I've seen some clips on the show, and you definitely play more of like a nerdy character. I want to ask: did that remind you anyway in high school? How similar are you to that guy, or did you kind of?
Oh, yeah, I think about that all the time, and it's one of those things where Eduardo definitely reminds me of myself. He's an exaggerated version of myself in high school. So I was really socially awkward, insecure, all that stuff. Yeah, so we're actually very similar. He's just even more exaggerated and has way worse taste in clothes than I did. But it's funny you mention that because when I play those characters, my ego gets in the way. And, I know what those characters really want, and I try to pretend that I don't want those things because I want to feel like I'm better than them. So I have to like rip my heart out, so to speak, and like tell myself, really embrace these characters' flaws so I can play them well. Don't let your ego get in the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You had low self-esteem and you had to get past that. You had to get a high self-esteem to book a part, and then you book a part and you have to channel your low self-esteem again.
Vicious cycle.
All right, yeah, that's funny, dude.
Your mental health is just deteriorating, man. What's going on?
Well, can I tell you guys something that I'm doing right now, and it could possibly help you guys as well? There's this thing I'm doing where when it comes to success, there's what we say we want, then there's what subconsciously we can handle. And for example, it's people that win the lotto. What happens to them? They always lose all their money because consciously, oh, hell yeah, I have $1 million, but subconsciously, I could only handle $30,000 a year. So I'm going to sabotage myself so I can do what I can handle. So that's kind of what I'm doing with other areas in my life right now. It's, health equals yada, yada, yada. I find out health equals for me subconsciously, me having to be a slave to my fitness. That's a subconscious belief that's holding me back. Okay, good. I found that out. Now I have to let that go. But I didn't realize that was a subconscious belief I'm holding on to. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's one thing that I do with the areas in my life, just because I want to get better. Yeah.
I feel you. When you get like close to a goal, when you're reaching a new level in your career or whatever, some people could subconsciously sabotage themselves, and you gotta
totally
fight against that.
That's dangerous, and that's where the whole self-help, just be positive thing. It's a movement, and it's great, but it's not the whole spectrum. If you really want to be positive, deal with your shit, and then the other side is positivity.
In our final 10 minutes, I would love to know, since you booked AP Bio, did you notice a change in the amount of auditions you were getting, or something in your career?
I think I noticed a change in my confidence, for sure. I think after you book your first big thing, you have a breath of fresh air, like, okay, I got something. That's a hump you go over, so you could book stuff. In terms of a change, yes, and in terms of the quality of my auditions, but also no, because I go through cycles. Like sometimes I'm going for a lot, but then there's like a month where it's a bit dry, and then I go for a lot more again. So I think it's more of that cycle. But then what happens with me is like I find out that I'm actually a good casting for something else. Like I didn't know I was good casting for like a young soldier till like last year.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like young dumb soldier, young naive soldier.
Private Chavez.
Yeah, dude, just like that spectrum of soldier, which is cool. Yeah.
Is there what is your ideal? I guess if you could have any option, what is your ideal type of character to play?
You know what, dude? I get that question a lot, and I just want to be number one on the call sheet just because I think it's cool. Like I want that. I'm not going to pretend I want that, but I also just want to be number one because if I'm number one, I set the tone for my cast, and I want all of my fucking cast to feel loved and respected, to have a good fucking time. You know what I mean? Like I've gotten my heart broken a lot. I'm sure we all have, going out for roles. So it's one of those things where it's just playing roles that are substantial to me and just being there for my cast and crew, just being generous. If I can do that, then I'm winning.
True.
But when I was younger, I wanted X, Y, and Z. I wanted this role, that role, but now it's not like that anymore. When I got Stranger Things a couple months ago, I was a completely different actor. It was just another audition for me, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna give my best. And I felt really proud of myself too. Like I was crying. It was a great audition. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't get the part, and it didn't even faze me.
Yeah.
And did Glenn Howerton and Patton Oswalt, because I know what you mean, 1 and 2 on the call sheet, lead the way, they set the tone.
Totally.
Did they set the tone on your set?
I think they do, and one way that they do is that they're both very professional on set. So, I mean, if the stars aren't professional, then yikes. Yeah.
Nice.
Have they given you any advice or any wisdom along the way?
Not really. I haven't asked for it.
Okay.
And between you and me, I'm
You're
very,
like, I don't need
very
it.
shy. Oh, I don't need it. No, I don't need it.
So
I get really shy around them still.
You don't go up
Gotcha.
to Patton Oswalt and try and be like funny and try and like.
Oh yeah, I do. I told them this thing how I took a nap in a nightclub. And he was like, bro, you told me the joke beforehand, but it's true, dude. We were rapping on AP, Friday night, and I wanted to go see my boy. It was like his birthday, and it was in downtown LA. So, dude, I was there. Everyone was happy to see me. I was happy to see my friends. And I just had to take a nap in his booth, dude. Like, I had to close my eyes. I was so fucking tired, man. Like, oh God, everyone was like patting my head. Like,
did they throw you out? The security throw you out? Because usually if you fall asleep in a club, they're like, my man, you got to go.
No, they didn't. I'm surprised. Okay. It makes sense that they would throw me out.
Yeah, because they think you're too drunk. That's what they think.
This guy's a star. They're not going to throw out the star.
That's true.
That's funny. So, yeah, I mean, but, you know, the season 3 was much easier to talk to both of them, actually, because Glenn directed an episode of AP. We chatted for a bit. So season 3, I was definitely much more comfortable in my own skin chatting with everyone.
Nice.
Yeah.
And looking at your IMDb, I saw that you've also directed too. Is that something that you're into? Was something that you want to pursue more? Or?
Oh, hell yeah, man. I went to film school. I didn't go to acting school. I really wanted to, but that's not how it happened for me. I went to film school, and in film school, you kind of find out what you're into. You know what I mean? And I found out that I was into directing and writing. That was like my strongest suits. And I love it. You know, I love directing. I love writing. I love directing more than writing. Writing, I love and hate because it's like torture. It's like writing is just so hard.
It's hard. It's hard. Yeah.
It's so hard, guys. And excuse me, I get lazy about it. But yeah, directing, man, it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Maybe at some point you could direct an episode of AP.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I mean, being on AP has been a huge education in how to run a set. You know, if I direct my own stuff, I kind of want to run it like a TV set, you know, just get it, boom, boom, boom. Like, I've been brought up in TV, so for me, I want to shoot at least 4 pages in a day, at least minimum 4, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like some of these studio movies, they shoot 2 pages a day, and that's great. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I'm a fucking 4-page bitch.
Nice. I respect it. I respect that.
Sometimes 8 if the AD is like feeling ballsy. We'll
yeah.
But
if we're chasing sunlight, maybe 8 guys.
Yeah, maybe 8. 2 pages, bro. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you anything you got coming up next besides AP or anything you're working on?
You know what? Fortunately, auditions are picking up again. So that and just writing my own material. Yeah, that's about it, gentlemen. What about you guys? Anything you guys are doing right now?
We're in post on two short films. In our spare time, we like to go, make our own content.
Nice.
Write roles, which is the hardest part, writing, and film roles and stories we want to tell. Yeah. And then meet people at film festivals. So we're in post on 2 right now.
That's awesome.
You ever done the film festival circuit?
Yeah, when I was in film school, my thesis film, The Voices They Hear, won a couple of film festivals. It was a pretty solid student film, and I was in the Burbank International Film Festival and the Pasadena International Film Festival. Won best student film. Pasadena.
Yeah, Piff, yeah.
Piff is great. I mean, the guys that ran Marco and Jessica, I love.
Yeah. Where we had Marco on the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we know them. They're great.
They're so great. Nice. They're going to grow. I can't wait to see what they become because they have the potential to become a huge film festival. And if you know them now, I think it's a good thing. Build a relationship with Marco and Jessica. They really make it feel like a homey festival, but with dick stuff in it. I love them to death. They're so good.
Yeah,
for sure.
I hope that one day film festivals come back. We'll see what happens with this new time.
Yeah. What goals do you guys have? Do you guys ever want to make a feature eventually with you guys?
Yeah.
That is the goal.
That's what we're working on.
The writing is honestly the hardest.
It's the hardest thing.
Yeah. What I'm reading this book called The Idea and by Eric Bork, and he talks about how people's scripts usually fail because just the idea wasn't sustainable enough. So I invite you guys to look that up because, if you have the idea and it checks off all these bookmarks on it, you're priming yourself for having a better chance of completing that script. Because I wrote my first feature last summer. It's shit, but I wrote it. You know what I mean? And it's like you're walking through fog with a lantern. You just have to have faith that you're going to reach the end eventually.
I think
like that.
At least for me personally, the structure is the hardest part in terms of we have the idea, but then making sure just basic things to keep the story driving and paced out correctly. That's
it's hard.
The hardest part.
Yeah.
Our taste is too high compared to what we actually write.
Sorry, I'm coming. That's funny. Yeah, it's so hard when you're like a newbie filmmaker or you're newer. It's like you have this taste that's so expensive, but maybe you can't afford that for your first feature. So you have to just maneuver.
Well, just do 2 people in a room talking. I mean, right?
Yeah.
that's like the one that everyone does, That's 2 people in a room. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
All right, guys, maybe let's talk a little bit more off mic, but we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Miguel, where can our audience find you?
Your audience can find me on Instagram, Miguel Chavez himself, and on Twitter, Miguelito forever with 2 R's.
Ooh,
So
nice.
Miguel at ITO, then forever 2 R's. It's very easy. You can do it. People listen.
Nice.
Got it.
All right, guys, links down below on
Hey.
YouTube.
Sorry.
Great conversation, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming
Awesome.
on.
You guys
Thanks
are
for coming
great.
on, man. This was a lot of
Absolutely.
fun.
Yeah.